I know. I went back to Final Fantasy XIV, okay? Sue me. Listen, there was a lot of hubbub about Square selling out of their digital copies of 14 because everybody's getting into this MMO all of a sudden, and the new Endwalker expansion's coming out too, so I caved and loaded my old character back up. I decided, alright, it was time to actually try and finish Heavensward. Now I know you guys are probably like, quick, wait a minute, didn't you say you were enjoying Heavensward in your last video on 14? To which I say, yeah, I was, right up until I dropped it because I got a bit burnt out. I just wasn't having as much fun with the game anymore, but this time I came back with a fresh mind and body after a couple months break, and played through Heavensward to completion. What are my thoughts, you dare ask me? Well, I guess you're gonna have to watch the video to find out. Honestly, if I were to just cut the bullshit and give you the short version of my review, I could probably sum it up in a few simple words. It's better than A Realm Reborn. That I can say with 100% confidence. The developers clearly started to understand how to make some spectacular looking dungeons, while also making them fun to play through as well. The mechanics with bosses in Heavensward become more complicated too, with more than just some simple, make sure you kill these ads or the boss is gonna one-hit you mechanics thrown in there. Looking at you, Realm Reborn. Yeah, you're guilty of this. The tougher difficulty is something that I can say I appreciated in Heavensward. It was just really refreshing to actually face some challenge for once, instead of steamrolling through all the content with little to no issue. The environments, oh my god, so much better than A Realm Reborn's. That could have been because I replayed A Realm Reborn at least 10 times before I finally completed it from start to finish, but man oh man was it refreshing to go into Heavensward and see this big old castle and the music going dun 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 dun. I mean, way to make me feel like I'm going Heavensward. The story is also worlds more interesting. A Realm Reborn's story was awful, god awful, but Heavensward is actually tolerable. There are still those awful moments though, make no mistake. Having to help these random dwarf-looking people, or some random witch to go fetch some random-ass book that contains a spell to break through this barrier. Ugh, fetch quests that are designed to waste my time just infuriate me to death. And Heavensward still has them, I promise you that. Maybe not as bad as A Realm Reborn, but they're there, and they're part of the reason I dropped Heavensward the first time. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here comparing 14 to Dragon Quest X, which is a game I had more fun with in my first few hours of playing, and it was in a language I couldn't even understand. To put this into perspective, I have maybe 10 hours in Dragon Quest X and 100 hours in 14. If that isn't the biggest insult that I could ever give to 14, I don't know what is. And I think the reason I enjoyed playing Dragon Quest X so much in that short amount of time was because everything I did in that game felt valuable, and the things I was doing felt important, while I feel a lot of my time spent in 14 is waiting for a bar to fill up at some random destination point. I just think that if the developers removed that extra fluff, those extra parts that are there to just blatantly waste your time, I could have given Heavensward the good old quick review stamp of approval, like, ugh, Heavensward would have been a much better expansion because of it. Then there are also certain moments that I feel like are supposed to be impactful, but end up falling flat. Like when a certain character gets revived, and everyone's all happy, and I'm just sitting there like, who in the hell is that? To be fair, I hadn't played A Realm Reborn in a while, and after watching some synopsis I understood, but like, damn, some of these characters are just straight up forgettable and boring. That's all I gotta say. And then you got her sister, I don't know where she came from or who she is. She's not even voice acted, for God's sake, like, bleh. But then you got characters like Estinian, and Estinian is such a goddamn badass. This is more of what I needed from Final Fantasy XIV and Heavensward. Characters like Estinian, and overall, it's definitely headed in the right direction for me here, but I just can't say that it's there yet. I'm super excited to start getting into the next couple of expansions to see what more the game has in store for me though. If Heavensward was better than A Realm Reborn, I'm hoping that trend just continues and Shadowbringers ends up being some masterpiece of gaming that getting through A Realm Reborn and everything else was worth making it to. If it's not, well, hey, at least it makes good content, right? I'm hoping these patch quests that I'm now on in Heavensward before the next expansion don't kill the game for me though, because dear god, that's usually where I end up dropping 14 for a bit. But hopefully, you peeps all watching can help me with that. Now, I know I said I was going to stream Final Fantasy XI on Twitch back in my video on that game, but I mean it this time. I'll be streaming Final Fantasy XIV right over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/quickreviews. Link will be in the description. I hope to see you guys there. Just make sure to subscribe and ring that bell for notifications so you know when I'm streaming on Twitch. You know, help me through a dungeon or two, okay? Lord knows I need it. With that said, that's all I got for you guys, so hope to see you in the streams, and get hyped for the Stormblood review.